Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, children of all ages, get your cocktails ready because the show is just about ready to begin. Yay! 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. The show has begun. The show is officially arting right now. I am your host, the Old Humble Guy, the one, the only. There we go. Now those lights are out of my eyes. In tonight's show, we're going to finish up our review of the last year worth of movies that I have watched on my Netflix account. Let's get that banner up and rolling. Don't forget, you can subscribe to our channel right here on the YouTubes, as well as find us over on the Twitch as the Old Humble Guy. You can find me over on, where else can you find me? Over on Twitter at old_humble, and of course on Facebook, Old Humble Distilling Company. We're also on the Instagrams, and damn, we're at all the social media, so we're not hard to find. We make it. I endeavor to make it easy for you to find us out there in the wide world of the internet socials. Big news. Hi, Moose Cow. Thanks for joining me tonight. Cheers. And cheers to everybody else who is joining us tonight. I need to pour myself a celebratory drink because we have completed our capital campaign. As of yesterday, the capital campaign is completed. Tonight's show is brought to you by the Old Humble Distilling Company Special Reserve. Special Reserve from the Old Humble Distilling Company, made with a little taste of joy. We have completed our capital campaign, so this is not just an opening shot. This is a celebratory shot. The Old Humble Distilling Company embarked in December on a capital campaign through the company called Mainvest. Our intent was to raise up some capital in order to expand our operation and build out our tasting room, and we are successful. So we'll be getting a little deposit in our account, and we're going to hire up some contractors and install some equipment, and we're going to go crazy over the next year. It's going to be fantastic. Cheers to y'all. Congratulations to us. Damn, that is a delightful drink. I should be used to it by now, but every time I take a sip, it is just another empty bottle, just another bit of joy. A little bit of housekeeping. Over on Twitch, we are hosted by our friends at the Cabin Fever live stream. You can follow them. And you can also use your Prime membership to subscribe to not only our channel, but also their channel. Their channel's monetized, so if you actually subscribe to their channel, you will get paid, or they will get paid. They're a bunch of artists who lost their stages over the last year, and they use their Twitch presence in order to replace their income that they lost. Also, you can go check out my boy Jeff with a G over at The Carney Show on Twitch. What else can we do housekeeping with? We have our Memorial Day special, which will be scheduled on Memorial Day. There will be bands, there will be talk, there will be interviews, there will be cocktails. It will be fantastic, a fantastic, fantabulous show. You're going to want to catch that. The best way to make sure you don't miss that is by subscribing to this channel over here and hitting the notification bell to make sure that you are reminded that this show is coming up. We're going to have a fantastic concert. I'm not sure who the headliner is, but we have set aside 2 solid hours of beautiful, wonderful music from these guys for the end of the show. So you are absolutely going to want to check that out. Finally, next week, our 92nd episode, I will be doing the Death Nut Challenge. Dun, dun, dun. Yes, return to the insane food stunt for the 92nd episode of our show. I don't know what to expect. I mean, I know it's Carolina Reaper, I think. Yeah, it's Carolina Reaper spices, so I kind of know what to expect. But it's like 5 different temperature variants, 5 different levels of intensity with the Carolina Reaper. So I don't know how I'm going to react to it. I don't know really what to expect. I've seen some videos, but I don't know how much of their reaction is kind of reaction for the camera and how much of it is legit. I do know what I experienced when I had the 1 chip challenge, and it was a hot chip. That was exactly as planned, as promised. Um, so we shall see how that all shakes out. Um, check my messages here on the phone. That is good. We're up and running on all three channels. We're on the Twitch, we're on the Twitter, we're on the YouTubes here, obviously. So now it's time to bring in our distinguished guest as she pops herself out of the Pandora's box that we have here. Lisa Lenny, a dear sweet friend of the family and of the distillery. Cheers, Lisa.
Cheers, Joe.
How are you tonight?
I am well. I have had a disco nap. So in case this goes until 10:30 like it did last week, I'm sad.
Oh, a disco nap. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I did hear that correctly. Okay, got it. Cool. That's awesome. What are you drinking tonight?
I am drinking a little Boomtown bourbon.
Ooh, you got that good stuff.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have a new label for that.
Right.
Next year with the next batch that comes out.
It's got this really nice sticker on it.
You got the gold certified label showing that it was bought at the distillery. Very cool.
Yeah. So it's got Joe's very privileged signature on there.
So yeah, we're gonna have a new label for that next year. It's gonna be well, I'll leave the reveal for later in the year, but it's gonna be awesome.
It will be awesome.
Yeah, so, I think people who know what we've done this year could probably guess what it's gonna look like, but I'll leave the mystery out there, like a stripper wearing stockings.
They're Joe.
That is just a perfect reaction. That's what I signed up for. That's why I came in tonight, to get that. Thank you.
You're welcome. So yeah.
Yes. Leave the mystery. Actually, I'm going to write that saying down so I don't forget it. Like a stripper wearing stockings. Go ahead and introduce yourself while I'm writing.
Okay. I didn't want to interrupt the genius over there.
No, don't worry about that.
So
she's asleep.
Yeah, your darling, long-suffering, extraordinarily patient wife.
Yes, the lovely and talented Mrs. Brita, Mrs. Old Humble Distilling herself.
Yes, I'm very glad that she is getting some rest. Well, I'm Lisa Lenny. I also went to the University of Houston, but Joe and I did not know each other at the time. We crossed paths, but
I didn't hang out in the library nearly enough to meet you.
Come over to North Tower either, where I was an RA, but that's okay.
Law school, studying, and I was just a goof off at the Student Video Network. I mean, there's absolutely no reason why we would have crossed paths.
Yeah, I didn't go to law school there, but
that's right. You were at Northwestern,
right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was U of H was undergrad. March Madness was very exciting.
Yes, our boys.
Yeah, and I'm an attorney, so I have to tell Joe no a lot.
You're my no person.
Yes, yes, I am. So, and apparently, I'm also very good at the look. That
yes, you are.
Joe, he was impressed that I had that perfected in a very short amount of time, and yeah.
Well, there you go. There you go. So, are you excited about next week's prospects with the Death Nut Challenge? You want to see what that does to me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm kind of curious too, because when I did the one chip, it wasn't like I didn't die. Clearly, as you can tell by my corporeal form. See, I'm still physically here. I did not die when I did the one chip challenge. So we'll see. I mean, I'm not gonna sweat the details. I'm just gonna show up.
You're just gonna sweat.
I'm gonna show up with my bowl of nuts and throw them in my mouth, and that's it. Speaking of crazy things to do, I'm going to El Paso next month. I
What?
finally get to go to El Paso to do a tasting at the El Paso Specs stores.
Wow.
I'm very excited about this. I haven't had this is the farthest from Houston I will have gone to sell the whiskey, topping out. Amarillo or Lubbock was previously the farthest outpost, and now we are going all the way out to the edge of civilization itself, and popping in at El Paso. Because the next like 3 feet over is New Mexico, and you're barely even in America at that point. I mean, if Texas is the last bastion of civilization, I mean, at that point we're closer. Oh, geez, I've almost said it. I'm not going to say. I'm not going to say we're closer to California. I don't care. We're still in Texas. We're still closer to Texas in El Paso than we are to any other state because we're still in Texas. We'll still claim them. They're allowed.
Okay.
So that
Okay.
even if it is the wrong time zone and barely on this edge of the horizon. Moose Gal wants to know what a tasting entails. So what we do, go to Specs, pick up a bottle of whiskey. I'm sorry?
Sometimes I go to Specs.
Yes, you've been at Specs as well. You have duplicated my efforts at a couple of stores. But we go in, we grab a bottle, we grab our sample cups, and we pour up some free samples. The free samples are about 1/4 of an ounce, which is, if this is an 1.5 ounce shot glass or 2 ounce shot glass, 1.5 ounces is a full shot. A sample is about that much. It's just enough to taste, not even nearly enough to get you drunk. If that gets you drunk, you had a party before you came into the store. And typically, a tasting ends there. Like it's somebody not associated with the distillery. What I oftentimes offhandedly refer to as a sports bra doing a tasting, because that's what they do. They show up in sports bras. They do the tasting. They don't care if you buy a bottle. Most of the time, I don't want to talk too disparagingly of them because there are tasters out there who do a really good job, but there are fewer of them than the ones that just go out and talk on their phone and get flirted with. When I'm out there doing a tasting, I'm actually trying to sell bottles. So if you come in contact with me, there is according to my statistics that I have kept fastidiously over the last several years, there's about a 50% chance you're going to walk away with a bottle when I actually, I'm sorry, there's a 30% chance that you'll walk away with a bottle when I actually get you to try it, which is the genesis of the short-lived, unofficial tagline that we've used on some Instagram marketing posts of "Put my junk in your mouth, you'll like it." There it is.
I've told people that I was going to be on this podcast or live stream, and I've also told them that I take absolutely no responsibility for whatever you say. So, anyway.
God, that is priceless.
Benny,
Oh goodness!
George,
Every time we should do a drinking game, have you and Melissa on the show, and every time I make y'all roll your eyes at me, I have to take a shot and see if I'm actually conscious at the end of the hour.
No, you will pass out. Yeah.
Moose Gal, we do a tasting with whatever products they have in the store. Usually, I split my efforts between one or the other, and very rarely do I do them both at the same time. It depends on which one it is I'm trying to push hardest that month.
And I am more talented than Joe is because I can both sell the whiskey and be flirted with at the same time.
That's very true. Very true. It is a rare but distinguished honor when I am getting flirted with at the store. And it happens, but it's much harder to do with the mask because I can't like flash my charming smile from across the store. I have to actually yell at people, stalk them down. Oh, great story! Last time I was in a store in New Braunfels, guy walks in, walks past the barrel, takes a right turn, like right in front of me, as I'm like addressing him, like, "Sir, would you like to try a sample of my delicious whiskey?" He just completely, totally, absolutely ignores me. And usually, like, that's no big deal. I'm just kind of muttering under my breath, like, "Yeah, you're just gonna ignore me. I'm watching you. I'm watching you shop for whiskey. You're just gonna ignore me while you're shopping for whiskey." And I'm not saying it loud enough for him to hear it. I'm just like, staying engaged with myself while I'm watching him do what he's about to make a mistake doing. And then he finally picks out some garbage water, rot gut, whatever. And he turns and he starts walking right back down the aisle and he's looking at me and I'm looking at him. You know, we're like straight up eye contact looking at each other. And I look at him and I wave and I say, you know, would you like to try my whiskey now? And I gesture towards the whiskey and he looks at me, he goes, can't hear you. And he just walks off. Like he couldn't see me talking, so he couldn't hear what I was saying because he was actually deaf, or at least he claims to have actually been deaf. So that was the time I picked on a deaf guy at a Specs. It's very rare that it happens, but occasionally it happens, and it's much harder to engage with somebody who can't hear you when they can't see your mouth moving.
You know, I really do my best to keep Joe out of trouble, and you know, but sometimes he goes out in public, and I'm at work, you know.
He couldn't hear me talking shit about him. It's fine. Like we could talk all this shit about the Amish tonight if you want, because they're not watching.
Oh, good.
I've never met an Amish guy I didn't like, so you know it's really tough to talk bad about those guys because every one of them I've met have been charming. If they're old world carpentry styles that they sell at the small box stores along the freeway and at Mattress Max Furniture Company.
Excuse me, I have a cat trying to climb the blinds.
Oh yes, one of your 93 cats.
9. They're just 9.
So last week we started to rank out the movies that I've watched over the last 12. You know, part of our 1-year celebration of quarantining. I wanted to see of the movies that I watched on Netflix, which ones were the best. Much to my surprise, it was a list of 650 movies. God dang. I did not realize it would be that long of a list, but this is the Netflix viewing history. And we got down to, did we get all the way down to, where did we get to last week? We got to January of 2021, right?
Yeah. It was past 300.
Yeah. Let me find that, the sordid history. Here we are. Because we got all the way through December. Yeah, there's the break. We got into January of 2021 last week, and we pulled out. How many do we pull out? We pulled out. Have you seen any movies since last week?
Me?
Yeah. You watched 5 in the last year. Have you watched any in the last week?
No, but I did watch an episode of Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist.
Okay. So tell us about Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist.
So Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist is about this young woman who has a freaky MRI, and suddenly she can hear people singing what she calls heart songs, which is like their innermost feelings, but they don't even know that they're singing it. And she is supposed to go and help these people address whatever their heart song is about. So, yeah. So last week, the heart songs were all mixed up between different people and different groups. So she had to figure out which ones were swapped between different pairs, but she got it solved.
Oh, interesting. So there was actually a mystery involved too. Fun, a puzzle maybe. Good.
Yeah. So interesting.
I've heard that's a really cool. I've heard it's a really cool show, and it's got really good music, and it's really fun to watch. Where is that at? Is that on Hulu or is that on Amazon?
I've been watching it on Peacock.
That's why I haven't seen it.
So I think it's.
Don't have the Peacock yet.
Well, I think it's on NBC.
Okay. Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So,
Moose Gal just commented.
Yeah, she's got the 11.
She's got a friend with 11 cats.
Yep.
I'm like, respect.
That is a lot.
Yeah, but are they all inside?
Ooh, Moose Cow, are they all inside? We will find out. This mystery must be solved.
And how many litter boxes does your friend have?
Oh God, that they got to be indoor outdoor cats. You got that many because that's like a lot of litter.
Mine are all indoors. 120 pounds of litter a month. Thank you very much.
Yikes. That's a bunch.
Yeah, I'm sure that the
That's a
Amazon
bunch.
delivery driver hates me.
We've got one, and I make sure he poops outside as much as I possibly can.
Oliver's such a good boy.
He is. He's such a chill kitty. I love that kitty.
So,
Let's jump in while we're waiting on Moose Cow.
but Evie just said hello, and
Hi,
her
Evie.
avatar looks like it also has a cat in it.
Does she now? Evie? I can't see it.
You can't see Evie in Z?
I can see it. I'm just trying to look at the avatar. It's really small on my screen. It's not her fault.
Well, you're also half blind, so
No, I have a teeny tiny screen. I mean, it's my laptop.
I
I
want
really need to get a bigger screen.
Like the
Much
itty
better.
bitty MacBook Air.
Yeah, I need a better computer. That's all. That's all.
I think you just need more eyeballs.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that too. But hey, we start selling some whiskey. I can go get my eyes checked out. So do that, guys. Go buy some whiskey so I can get some new glasses. Thanks. Appreciate it.
We got confirmation that yes, her avatar does have a kitty in it.
Yes.
And
his name is Mystic. His name is Mystic, and he's black and white. Adorable little kitty. You little kitties. Anyway, okay. Enough kitties. My dog's gonna get jealous. Look at me through the window. Yeah, like, what are you talking about? Although I think he's sleeping on the couch next to my lovely wife.
Oh, yeah.
She's very tired today. Okay, so let's jump in. We got through like 337 of the movies last week. Pulled out 25 of them to be considered for quarantine top 10 status. That'll be easy to narrow those down, I think. See, like for example, this show, History of Swear Words, this has Nick Cage in it, and it was trash. We started watching it, 3 episodes, did it all in one day, and it was all trash. I don't know what 30 minutes or less is. Clearly, it was trash because I quit watching it, and then binged on Community. Community season 2. I watched.
Joe,
What?
no, I did watch a movie.
Uh-oh. Which one?
Yeah, I watched Pitch Perfect.
That's the Anna Kendrick movie.
It is the Anna Kendrick movie.
Yeah, she's charming. I love her.
You know what?
Platonic fan way, not a creepy stalker way.
So there is also singing and dancing in that movie.
There is singing and dancing in that movie. Mostly singing. There's some dancing, but it's mostly choreographed singing.
There are also puppets.
I don't remember the puppets.
The puppets are with one of the Glee clubs, and they're little sock puppets, and they sing Lily Allen's "Fuck You" song, but they change it because the movie is like PG or PG-13.
I gotcha.
Yeah,
that wasn't one of the ones where Anna Kendrick was singing.
No, it was
or where
not.
that tall Asian girl in the Pitch Perfect crew was singing.
The who?
The a cappella chicks. What are their names? What was their group's name? That doesn't matter. The girl.
Something like whatever the name of the college was. Bellas.
That's it. Yeah, the Bellas. Yeah. Yeah. That it was a really funny movie too. Anna Kendrick is a comedic. She is quite the comedic talent, and she can sing.
And she can sing. I mean, she's a lot like I am. So comedic talent. She kind of plays the straight man in the movie.
Yeah. And Dawn says that it has the same guy from Zoe's
Extraordinary Playlist. Yes, Skylar.
Who is that guy?
Skylar Aston is in both Pitch Perfect and Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. And bonus, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, also another singing, dancing series.
Gotcha. We watch very different movies.
We do.
Moose Cow enjoyed Pitch Perfect, but not the other so much. Because they've got like what, 3 of them now? 4 of them?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a whole series, which is cool. For that, yeah. That came out about the same time as Glee, though, right? I mean, that was contemporaneous with Glee. And
Let
High School Musical and all those other TV musical shows that were Glee
let
Club
me check
associated.
IMDb because it holds the answers to most
Yeah,
of the questions that we have here.
yeah. See, cell phones have ruined bar time conversations because we could have a 2 hour discussion about who the best second baseman was at the bar, but now you just pull out the phone like, oh, here's the one with the best stats. Case closed, all done.
Okay, so there are 3 Pitch Perfect movies.
Okay.
The first one came out in 2012, and Glee ran from 2009 until 2015.
So it was contemporaneous.
Yes.
It kind of rode on the crest of Glee as Glee was peaking out and really hitting its stride, third season ish. Out comes Pitch Perfect, and which was no doubt in development for a couple of years before it came out. So it was quite, yeah, it makes sense. Okay.
So, and High School Musical was 2006.
Uh-huh.
So
The granddaddy
right.
of school musicals, except for Grease, which was the great great granddaddy of school musicals, because it was also a high school musical.
True.
Those people were high schoolers.
They were.
Like a 30-year-old John Travolta playing a 19-year-old high school.
Yeah, but Kaniki is my favorite. Do you call him an anachronism?
Sure, you can call him whatever you want. He's dead now, isn't he?
I don't know.
No,
Again, IMDb can answer the question for us.
I'm not really that worried about it. I'm sure he's alive. He's not that old. But that fun fact, the story of Grease, the entire film is the story of how I met my lovely wife. True story.
Oh, Kaniki is dead. 2011.
Oh, how about that? God rest his soul.
Yeah. Okay, explain, because you two met in college.
Yeah. And it was after a summer, and we met offhand at the beach in the summer and kind of had a little tension, hot tension between us. And then we left. I went back home with my folks. She went back home with her folks. And turns out she was an exchange student from Australia that was staying at our college. And I was hanging out with my boys.
Ohio?
And, I mean, they're practically the same place. But yeah, long story short, that's how I met my lovely wife. Yep. Very true. Yep. I'm sticking with that until we reference another movie in which it tells the story of how I met my lovely wife. There's a story about that for another time. Actually, no, I'll tell that story now because it's a great story. For my parents' like 48th wedding anniversary, I think it was. I think it was their 48th wedding anniversary. I went into TV shows, songs, and movies and kind of summarized the plot of the movie and ended it with, and that's how my parents met. Like 40 times, 38 times. And that was my anniversary gift to my parents that year, just doing 38 posts on Facebook of how my parents met. My mom loved it. She was laughing. She thought it was hilarious. My dad wasn't involved in Facebook. He was like, I don't understand this. But my mom thought it was funny. Like,
It was. I
yeah,
remember that.
it was great.
Yeah.
And then the next year I did it, I like repeated some of them and did it one more time. And now that my dad has passed, whenever we're sitting down watching a movie, and it ends up being a boy meets girl movie because most of them do have that dumb
Meet cute.
underlying storyline. Because you can't just have a baseball movie; you have to have Bull Durham actually get the girl in the end. Fine, whatever. It's still a baseball movie, but we're watching that. They kiss at the end. We're watching Trimmers, and the end of the movie. Kevin Bacon's character and the chick doctor character, scientist lady, whatever. At the end of the movie, he goes and he kisses her and he gets the girl. And I lean over to my sons and I go, and that's how I met your mother. Every single time. Uh,
And Lefty's probably like, really?
well, they've heard it enough now that it gets eye rolls, and now even Lefty will, like, during a movie, he'll lean over and go, "Is that how you met Mom, Dad?" I'm like, "Yep, that's how I met your mother."
Oh, he's catching on.
So there's the story behind. But also, Greece is. We still get royalties from Greece for our love story since they made the show out of the story of how we met back in high school after that one summer.
Right.
And it was really creepy. I mean, it was less creepy back then, but it's really creepy now when I look back at how my buddies were like, did you rape her? Like, come on, guys, stop it. Like, they use different language, but I mean, back then it wasn't so creepy. Now it's kind of creepy. But I would have suggested they did something different with that particular rendering of the story. But it was the '70s. It was a crazy time.
Joe can be a decent guy.
I tend to be. I shoot. I aim for that. I shoot for being decent. But being from a different era back in the 1820s, it was different. It was different back then. It was, women were still property when I was a kid. That's just how it was. Did I officially? No. I need to not officially date at 1820 because I'm sure I've got stories from before that of stuff that I've done for cocktails. But time travel is a weird thing. Doesn't matter. It does things to a person.
Well, and it you can practically fall into a DeLorean from your house.
I know they're right over there. It's insane.
It is.
Yeah, but I prefer the big wheel time travel machine that we've got out in the garage. The plastic is much. I mean, steel is really good, but plastic is surprisingly sturdy for the stresses of time travel.
I'm surprised it doesn't melt.
Yeah, surprisingly, it gets very cold but not very hot. And also, not surprisingly, time travel forward is much more fun than time travel backwards. You can cause a lot fewer problems time traveling forward because that stuff hadn't happened yet, and you can get all kinds of cool stuff and bring it back. It tends to disappear, but that's fine. You get to keep it for a while. Anywho, you want to look at some movies?
I guess so. Since we're half an hour into this,
I don't know if we're actually gonna. What time is it? 8:30. Okay, we can get through a few. I'm actively losing interest in this as we do it, but I've queued it up, so we might as well choke our way through half of these. Okay, so
there's like a whole page of Community.
I know it's like I binged on Community. Of course, this is just my account. This isn't the family account, so this could be happening between 10 and 2, 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. But this is like the whole season 2 of Community and into season 3 over the course of
Unsolved Mysteries in there.
Yeah, that the new Unsolved Mystery stories just sucked. They were dreadful. And that one which one? Unsolved Mysteries, Stolen Kids. I'm pretty sure that one was in French. And I don't want to read a TV show. I mean, seriously. If I want to read a book, I'll get the damn book. I want to watch TV. I don't want to read. And see, here, I jumped back into season 2, so I really do think I fell asleep. Because this is the paintball episode here on the 10th. And then going back to season 2, I'm sure there's for a few paintballs more. Where is it? Well, maybe not. I don't know, but I'm not sure why I skipped into season 3 and then back into season 2. Unless it's just a glitch in the system. I think we're seeing the Matrix work. I don't know what Death to 2020 was.
I don't know, but I think that's what we were all wishing.
I mean, I intentionally watched it on the 11th, but God, what was Death to 20? I may not have even finished it. It clearly left a mark because I don't have any idea what it was.
I think that was like, wasn't that basically a retrospective that Netflix produced?
Yeah, it might have been, but I might not have even watched the whole thing. It looks dumb. Sounds dumb. In fact, I'm pretty sure it was specifically not a retrospective. It was like a nail in the coffin of the year. I might have to look that up and see what that was again, but
Oh,
I'm not particularly interested in watching it.
you know what I could do?
You could
I
look it
could
up on
look up
IMDb.
IMDb.
You could be my research assistant. Awesome.
You
Yeah,
know
check
what?
out what Death of 2020 was. Check out, see if you
Okay,
can find its synopsis.
so like
And I'll roll forward.
Walker,
Lupin was in French, and I'm pretty sure I fell asleep in the first 20 minutes of it.
do I get to, I mean, like you act like this is your show or something.
Like I'm the host.
Yeah, whatever. So you know that I recently started at a different law firm.
You
And,
did, and it's very exciting. I'm very proud of you.
it's very awesome because I am highly regarded already in the 9 days I have been there.
Awesome.
With, being a very good researcher.
Mhm.
So
Well, it's because you are a very good researcher.
I am.
And
And
I recently started with a new company in the last 18 months.
Yes, I do know that. Only not a new company.
Yeah, it's been around a while.
Yeah. So apparently, Death to 2020 is a
Uh-huh.
look back at the mad glory of the year 2020 in this comedic retrospective.
Yeah,
Samuel L. Jackson, Hugh Grant, Lisa Kudrow.
yeah. That sounds like something I started watching and didn't finish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that sounds.
So
Yeah, that sounds like it.
we should probably, while you're looking at your list and trying to decide what sucks and what doesn't.
It's all Community, Big Mouth, Cobra Kai. I just binged a bunch of TV shows over the next 2-3 days.
Yeah.
Disenchantment was in there. The third season of Disenchantment was very disappointing.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, the first 2 seasons were funny. It's the same guys that did Futurama.
Okay.
And Catch Me If You Can, I think I watched that because I saw a story about check forging and the dude who is in Catch Me If You Can. And I'm like, that I remember that story being interesting. So I watched the movie. It was not.
Frank Abernathy?
Yeah, Frank Abernathy. I mean, it was a neat story.
Yeah.
And the stuff he got away with back then is stuff you could never get away with now.
Right.
Because the systems are so interconnected. It's not like you can bounce a check in Miami to get cash and then go spend it off in Oklahoma. I mean, or bouncing checks in Oklahoma or faking checks is what he was doing. He would get caught much quicker these days. But and using fake phone calls and all the stuff that he was doing, you can't get away with that stuff now. You can't call somebody you can from a bot phone or whatever, but it's really hard to mask your identity the way he did then.
Right.
In today's interconnected world, it's an interesting show, but it's not. Yeah. I also remember watching a training video about check fraud when I was working in my previous life.
At a bank.
At a bank. Something about check fraud, and then the guy Frank Abernathy he wasn't at the conference, but he was there via video, and he said basically the same thing. He's like, the stuff I got away with, you can't get away with now, but people try to do it, and here's how you catch them. Yeah, great, thanks. Where are the orders?
Around to some of our commentary over here.
Oh yes.
Evie says that she'd love to travel back in time to teach bullies a lesson. Like that would be nice.
Yeah.
And Moose Gal says that all of her friends' cats are in her apartment.
Huh.
So
inside cats in
her apartment. I'm like, I feel for her. Like
not even a backyard.
Do what? No. They're safer inside. So your cat is special. But she does get fixed. Yay for spay and neuter.
Yes, spay and neuter your pets, please. We don't need more of them inadvertently running around. Lisa can only adopt so many.
Yeah. So, and I will confess, I did have a 10th kitten, but I did get him adopted out. So
there you go. Very good. Very good.
So
and yes, I do realize that Oliver's much safer indoors than he is outdoors, and the wildlife around our house is much safer with him indoors than outdoors. But he is also really annoying when he's crowing at the back door and he wants to go pee.
So
and he doesn't stay out for long. He usually stays in the backyard, and he only spends a couple hours out there. So
say hi. This is Huckleberry. He decided
hi,
that he
Huckleberry.
would be in my lap, so he gets to make a cameo.
Adorable.
He is
absolutely adorable.
He is my most affectionate cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's mama's boy.
Yeah, adorable. See, I kept watching Disenchantment season 3, and I think I finally quit right around here. This is where I started watching a TV series on Netflix. I don't have a whole lot more that's, I think, worth a crap. Finished watching the whole Community series at some point in the next couple of months, because you see, we're into season 4. Season 5, season 6, and then season 7 was like an act of an act of intentional will to finish watching the series, because that last season sucked. Hell, the last 2 seasons sucked. Big Mouth, season 3 again. Season 3's have been disappointments on all these shows. Disenchantment season 3, Community became a disappointment in season 5. What do we got here? Conversations with a Killer. This was the Ted Bundy tape series. Not really that great. Monty Python and the Holy Grail. That one makes the cut to the Holy Grail. I'm pretty sure I watched that one with the boys.
Monty Python?
And the Holy Grail. Yes, indeed.
Okay, so today,
yeah,
I haven't posted on Facebook because it would basically be like subtweeting someone, but on Facebook, and I don't know what you called that when it's not on Twitter. So anyhow, but yeah, so I really wanted to post the little GIF of the knight who loses his arm, and he's like, "It's just a flesh wound. I've had worse." So that's kind of what I feel like this week in my love life. So yeah.
Well, we should have you back on for the Unhinged Chronicles.
Oh, we should.
We should, because that would be absolutely hilarious.
So for those of you who are watching who don't know what the Unhinged Chronicles are, I'm not
even sure people who are engaged with the Unhinged Chronicles know what the Unhinged Chronicles are, because they totally do. My God.
I've been told by some people this is their absolute favorite thing on Facebook. So I'm on 4 dating apps. It is the Facebook dating, eHarmony, Bumble, and Hinge. And
Hinge is created so that you don't use it anymore. That's what all their ads on Hulu say.
Yeah.
The app created to be deleted.
Right. Mm-hmm. I haven't deleted it yet. But mostly I just have started a while ago. I just started trolling for material. So I go through guys' profiles and take screenshots of really hilariously bad things to put on a profile. But tonight, eHarmony popped in, and I rarely get anything from eHarmony. Like, that's good for this Unhinged album. But tonight, a 19-year-old boy.
Which you get a lot of.
I get a lot of. I don't understand why I'm so popular with, like.
And to be clear to the audience, she's not old, but 19 could be, like, legit. 19 could be your kid.
Yes. Okay.
Like, legit.
I'm 42.
Yeah.
I am 42. Like, that's what it says on all of my dating profiles.
Exactly. Which is not old. 42. Solid Gen X material.
But perhaps several of these young men have dyslexia or I can't remember what.
Or they say they're interested in anywhere between 18 and 99 because they're just trying to throw the net out.
Very, very popular with the under 27 set. But this one, tonight, this 19-year-old boy messages me in eHarmony and says, "So, what does a MILF like you want?" And I'm thinking, 1, not a mom. 2, somebody at least twice your age. And 3, were you even born when the term MILF was coined?
Let's ask IMDb. That would have been American Pie?
That would have been American Pie.
So if he's 19 now, that's 2000. He was not born when American Pie came out because that was in the
when
90s.
did American Pie come out?
I'm pretty sure it came out in the 90s because I'm pretty sure I was in college.
1999.
Yep. He was not
This
born.
child was not even born.
And it's entirely possible that
that
MILF predated the movie, but it was popularized by the movie.
Right.
Into popular culture. Yeah.
Right. So, like, child.
Because it's entirely possible that those websites existed, but the internet was so shitty we didn't know it. Unless you were a dedicated porn sleuth, you just didn't know MILF Hunter was out there until American Pie.
I will come back for the Unhinged Chronicles.
Yeah, we definitely need to do Unhinged Chronicles and just go through, just tell stories after stories after stories.
Yeah,
it's stuff like that that makes me tolerate a lot of stuff from my lovely wife.
Yeah,
I mean, not that she's in any way at all imperfect, but you know,
I'm like, what do you tolerate from Melissa? Melissa tolerates you.
When she's all like, "Put down that fire, quit doing that," and I'm just like, you know what? I could be my own man and do whatever I want with whatever fire breathing things I want to do, and I could just go and do it. No, see, I'm like, you know what, honey? I will not play with fire for you and keep you around, censoring my creativity.
Like I do at the distillery.
I'm just so full of shit.
So yeah, Joe has his wife at home, and then he's got his part-time work wife at the distillery.
Yeah,
so that would
she's like, put down those juggling chainsaws. You can't do that. Like, you're not the boss of me. I can juggle chainsaws, probably. I'm leaving so I can go juggle chainsaws on my own time. And she's like, you're not going anywhere. Have you seen the dating apps? I'm like, yeah, you're right. You're right. I can't.
He's like, have you seen Lisa's account?
I can't hang with those guys.
Oh.
Besides, I can't carry a conversation with a 19-year-old girl. I just can't do that. I can't. I haven't been able to do that for 20 years. Carry a conversation with a 19-year-old girl. It's just
a wonder that you were able to marry Melissa.
She is much more competent than a 19-year-old girl. I can carry a conversation with her. She's interesting and competent. I can't.
At one point, she was a 19-year-old girl.
Yeah,
and you
I knew her then. I was only 20 at the time when I met her. She was a 19, and I was able to carry a conversation with a 19-year-old girl when I was 20. But a few years after that, it was tough. I'm thinking of the Matthew McConaughey line of they stay the same. They stay the same age. Like the handful of times that I've had to go back to the University of Houston to get a transcript or something like that, and the college girls are out in full spring, full bloom because it's springtime or whatever, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm a human being with I can see things, and they're attractive without question. But then I start to think what am I even going to talk about with a kid that's in a literature class or going to geography or whatever class they're in that week. I don't know what kids take these days. And I use terms like kids these days. I can't carry on a conversation with a 19-year-old kid. I can't. I can't do it. I can't even carry on a conversation with a 19-year-old guy. I can barely carry on a conversation with my 14-year-old son. I mean, oh, he's about to bite your face off.
No, he's not going to bite my face.
You're under attack.
No, if it were Buttercup, that would be,
gotcha.
I would be concerned.
Are you going to watch the Oscars on Sunday?
I am not. I have plans to go to San Antonio on Sunday. Not on Sunday, on Saturday. Because Raul Malo, the lead singer of the Mavericks, the band, not the basketball team, Joe.
The Mavericks play in Dallas. on stages and at United Center.
Right. So anyway, Raul Malo is doing a solo show at the John T. Flores Country Store in Helotes, and I am going on Saturday night. And then Sunday, I will be leisurely making my way back to Houston via New Braunfels, where my friend Barbara and I will stop and see her very elderly, super cute parents.
I had no idea the Oscars were on this weekend.
Right?
I don't have network TV anymore. I guess we have Roku, so I can watch network. I think I can watch network stuff on Roku. I don't know. I haven't watched network TV in eons, as you can see from my Netflix queue, which is 600 movies long.
Hey, we're in the 400s.
Yeah, we're getting there. But no, I'm not a particular fan of the Oscars. I don't.
Well, I mean, not only that, but we haven't had a theater experience for the last 13 months.
That's true. That's true. And Oscars are movies, right?
They are.
The Film Critics Association of America, right?
Something.
Yeah. So the Oscars are all movies. I mean, yeah. No, I won't be watching it. I may watch. I do know some guys who watch, make it a point to watch all of the movies that were nominated for Best Picture. And now there's like 10 that they nominate instead of 5.
Right.
Because to be more inclusive of the movies that don't get the award. So they just added more.
I
guess was the logic behind that.
I don't know. I think it was just to have people watch more movies.
Maybe so. Moosecat says she watches TV, but watches most of her shows streaming. Which, I mean, that's, yeah, when we cut cable, it was, I think, September of 2019 when we finally cut our cable. We had realized that for 6 months we had not watched anything on our DVD or our DVR player. So, dude, speaking of movies this year, like for all of 2020, they didn't have movies released into the theaters. And the rule for the Oscars had always been like you have to have the movie in a theater for a certain number of weeks for it to be considered for the Oscars. So they must have changed the rules because there weren't movies in theaters at all in 2020, except for the first 3 months.
Would think that was the case. Oh, here's Harry.
He's an orange and white cat.
Yes.
Such chill kitties.
So Harry, I don't know. Cats don't drink cocktails.
Yeah, they do. Cool ones do. Haven't you seen Brian Setzer? All of his stray cats drink cocktails and have heroin.
Yeah, I've had Harry for a year now. He was a little bitty 5-week-old kitten when I scooped him up out of West Road. So he's very handsome.
Kidnapped him on West Road. Picked him up, snatched him up off the ground, and said, "You will never see your family again unless they give me $1 million." And you said, "You will never pay this ransom. You will be mine forever." And he was like, "No, oh, okay." I mean, you got good food, so I guess I'll stay.
Yeah. He wasn't getting hit by a car. So.
Oh, holy crap! It's 9:55. Hey, let's run through another couple of months real fast. Maybe I'll get through this list actually much quicker than I thought. Okay, so Devil Next Door. I don't even remember what that one was. That Devil Next Door. That was a limited series about this dude who was a accused Nazi war criminal. And he ended up being acquitted in. I think he was acquitted in Israel, but convicted in Germany of being a former Nazi.
Wow!
I'll keep that one. That one was actually a really fascinating show. I'll keep that one on the list. And that was in February. So we're into February of 2021. Jesus. Free State of Jones was interesting. A Matthew McConaughey movie. It wasn't great. El Camino, that was fantastic. That was the second chapter of the Breaking Bad saga. Quite the good movie. And I am actually rewatching Breaking Bad right now. Because it is a great business tutorial. No lie. 1922.
Yeah, some people at work discovered this week that I have not watched Breaking Bad, and I was strongly encouraged to
Yeah.
watch. Like, it's on my list.
Yeah. Wormwood, I started watching that, and it doesn't look like I continued it because it was trash. I can't remember what 1920. Oh yeah, I do remember what 1922 was. That was a Stephen King movie, made for Netflix. Stephen King movie where this dude killed his. It was a Telltale Heart. It was a retelling of Telltale Heart.
Oh,
The guy kills his wife and goes basically goes crazy, and hilarity ensues. It was a great movie. Uh, and I don't want to give anything else away because it's a relatively new movie, and I can't say, well, it's been out for 20 years. You should have seen it. It's been out for several months. Y'all should probably go see it, or not go see it, just watch it. It's great. Look at this, Community. This is the only thing I watched for like a Community season 5. I just choked this crap down. It
do I
was
even want to know what Bonding season 1 was?
Bonding is a funny TV series. It is not. Me and Melissa started watching it, but I don't think we got past the second or third episode. It's about this dude and his friend from school. He's unemployed. His friend from school is a dominatrix, so he becomes her assistant, and hilarity ensues.
Okay.
It's quite funny and not as tawdry and bawdy as you might expect. But I mean, you can imagine the various scenarios that a dominatrix's assistant would find himself in. Some of them sticky. The Sinner. Oh, that was great. That's an old TBS series that is now on Netflix. I watched the first season of it. That was great. It had me like on the edge of my seat for the whole first series.
You said
But
it was
I'm not going to tell you.
a series?
I think it was TBS. Yeah, The Sinner. I think it was TBS.
Oh, TBS.
Yeah, TBS.
Got
I
it.
think it was a TBS series. It was and it was really good. It was really well done. The lead actor is the president from Independence Day, and
Oh,
yeah, his co-star is Amanda Bynes. No, that's not right. Some She's a really great actress. I can't remember her name. But it was. I mean, it's a really great series. I haven't seen the second season yet, but I would recommend it.
okay.
Let's see here. What else? Captive. Captive, I think, is a movie. Yeah, it's a series about people who are in a hostage situation. Uh, was not particularly impressed. New Girl, definitely not impressed with that.
Jessica Biel was.
Jessica Biel, yeah, she was really good. And of course, Christmas Vacation, 2 months
In
late.
February?
I did. I watched it in February. I don't know why we watched it in February. I think I watched it with the boys. And Joseph loved it. William was a little confused, but Joseph thought it was absolutely hilarious because it is. War Dogs is a great movie about a couple of. It's based on a true story about a couple of idiots who fell into international arms trade. Just kind of stumbled into it, and yeah, and they end up
Stumble into that.
they end up they end up getting this huge contract, and then they're partners. They end up in this huge contract. They're packaging up the ammunition. They do something extremely illegal. They get nailed for it, and they all go to jail. And it is a great movie. Really good movie. Community Crime Scene. What was Crime Scene? Oh, The Vanishing at the Cecil Hotel. That was a really terrible series.
Mm,
Yeah, that was bad. I mean, okay. So what happened at the Cecil Hotel? The Cecil Hotel is this historic hotel in LA. That's where the Black Dahlia was last seen alive. And the Black Dahlia, the story of the chick who was like cut in half and found very dead and cut in half. The Cecil Hotel is this notorious hotel.
dead.
Say again.
As opposed to just a little dead.
Yeah, as opposed to Black Knight dead. She was she was found very dead. It's this notorious hotel that seems to be like it's on Skid Row, and it seems to be this hub for bad things and bad things to happen to people. And this uh, chick, the Vanishing, I don't remember her name, but you look up the Vanishing at the Cecil Hotel. Hell, you looked up the Cecil Hotel. She's on camera in the elevator doing some stuff. She gets out, or pushing buttons. She gets out and she's talking to. It looks like she's talking to, like in the security camera. It looks like she's talking to someone off to the side over here, and she turns and walks this way, and then goes back and walks that way, and then poof, she vanishes. Turns up a couple weeks later in the water tank on the roof of the hotel. Totally bizarre story. No witnesses, no evidence, no nothing. But she was stripped naked and thrown into the water tank. And there was only a handful of people who have access to it, but they couldn't figure out who did it. Complete mystery to this day. Probably one of the maintenance guys, but they couldn't nail any of them on either evidence or video footage or anything from the hotel. But a really weird, like you can look it up on YouTube. It's just a really weird video of the last time this person was seen alive on film. But they did an entire series of this really fascinating, really interesting story. They did a series on it and made it really dreadful and bad. So shame on them. That they should be embarrassed for themselves. Shame on them. Where else? What else we got? Unsolved Mysteries. Nah. Evil Genius. Yeah, Evil Genius. This. Okay, so you remember yesterday, 30 Minutes or Less, that movie that I told you about, the 30 Minutes or Less movie where it was the pizza boy who got kidnapped and they put a bomb on him and all that stuff, right?
Yes.
So Evil Genius is the real life story of that story that these idiots went and made a comedic movie about.
Wow.
A two-parter, and it was a great. I mean, it's a really cool story. And if you search on the YouTubes, you can find the actual video where the guy gets his chest blown out. But it's a really cool story, and just these diabolical people who tried to pull this thing off.
We need to work on your tact and diplomacy.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's what the video was. I mean, you see the video, and then like, it was, ugh,
Yeah, gruesome.
yuck. I don't know if they still. Maybe I think they probably scrub it off YouTube periodically. It may be hard to find on YouTube. Ratchet, about the Nurse Ratchet series. We started watching that. I don't know how far into it we got, but that's a really good one. That's good. You should put it on there. You haven't seen Ratchet, have you?
I have not, but I do like Sarah Paulson.
Yeah, she's good. She was the same actress who was in Gone Girl, wasn't she?
No.
Or am I thinking of somebody else? I'm thinking of a different movie.
She was in Aaron Sorkin's, what was it called? Studio something on the Sunset Strip.
Okay. Yeah, Studio 30. Yeah, the Saturday Night Live documentary.
Yes.
Studio 30 on the Sunset Strip came out at the same time as 30 Rock, or Studio 60. Can't remember. But it came out at the same time as 30 Rock, and I remember me and my lovely wife thoroughly enjoyed 30 Rock way more than we enjoyed Studio 60 or whatever it was.
It was Studio 60. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't a parody, like.
Right. It was like a serious, like West Wing
Right.
mockudrama
Right.
of a fictional show that was much funnier than Saturday Night Live.
That's not hard.
Yeah, I know. At the time, most of the time, it wasn't hard at all. That show was much funnier than Saturday Night Live, but I thought it was much more entertaining than 30 Rock. And 30 Rock is the one that went on for 19 seasons or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Moose Gal wants to know if there's any movies on that list that I didn't like. Yes. There are several. I try to avoid movies I don't like, but there are, we run across. I mean, there's a reason I watched a whole bunch of TV shows
Joe.
Hello.
Hi.
Are we back?
We're back.
I don't know if I actually broke the stream.
Uh-oh.
Uh, the internet connection did not appreciate. I had to switch from not the NSA to not the CIA. That's the name of my internet connection.
I'm aware.
Looks like we're still live on the stream. We didn't break the stream. We didn't have to create a new. So Moose Gal wants to know if there's any movies I didn't like. Yes, there are scores of movies I didn't like, and generally I tried to avoid them ahead of time. I try to like pre-avoid the movies that I don't like, which is why I watched a bunch of TV shows here, a whole bunch of TV shows, a whole bunch of TV shows. I probably got to go back to last year to find one specifically. Eli, I didn't like Eli, or maybe I did like Eli. I can't remember. God, there were definitely some stinkers. His House, I think, was a stinker. I didn't like that one. Knock Knock was a stinker. Uh, yeah, A Haunted House. A lot of these were just bad. Uh, and it wasn't bad like it was dreadful bad. A lot of times, if it's a dreadfully bad movie, I won't even finish watching it. Do you run into the same thing where you run into like a dreadfully bad movie and you just don't like it? And you just like quit watching it and you walk out in your own house?
No. First of all, I don't watch a whole lot of TV.
Well, yeah, you
Right.
make it count when you do it.
And yeah, I don't walk out of my own house if I don't like something on the television.
Theoretically, you don't have to leave the venue. You just change a channel. I mean, you live there.
I do.
That's like having a friend over for dinner and then kicking yourself out when they don't know how to use the right fork. That's silly. You tell them to leave when they don't know how to use the right fork. You don't put up with that crap.
But would they do the dishes? They did the dishes. I'd be okay.
If they don't know how to use the right fork, does it matter? I mean, come on. Maintain standards. Jeez. What's wrong with you?
Pro tip on using the right fork: start from the outside, work your way in.
I will kick you out of my house if you don't know which fork to use. Be all like, heathen, out with you. But yes, there are movies I don't like. I try to avoid. There's probably more on the Amazon side that I didn't like than on the Netflix side.
I cannot believe that. Like, there's another list somewhere when there are already like 600 things on this one.
The Amazon history is, where's the Amazon history?
Focus.
The Amazon history is, where are we at? It's only 58.
Okay.
On the Amazon history.
Only 10% of what the Netflix
is. Juan of the Dead. That was a definite stinker on the Amazon side. Bubba Hotep was terrible. That was a terrible movie. Warlock was a terrible movie. Didn't finish it. Galaxy of Horrors, terrible movie. Didn't finish it. Truth, I don't like Truth Seekers. So the fun of the game was interesting. Okay, back to the we could do Amazon another day. Our Idiot Brother was a fun movie to watch. Not great, but a fun movie to watch. Has Paul Rudd in it. as
Never ages.
as their idiot brother, who sold pot to a cop who was in uniform.
Oh, nice.
And that's how like the movie starts. Like he's at a farmer's market, and the cop comes up and he says, "Do you have any pot?" The guy's like, "I'm not going to sell you pot. You're a cop." He's like, "No, man." He like takes his badge off or something, puts in his bag. Like, "I'm off duty right now. Just like it's just you and me. Just between you and me. Do you have any of the good stuff? Like, I won't arrest you." He goes, well, "All right, man." And he grabs the pot and he hands it to him. He says, "Thanks, dude. By the way, you're under arrest." And that's how the movie starts. The guy goes to jail for selling pot to a cop who was in uniform. Like, how dumb can you get? Year One is a stupid movie. Jack Black is a genius, though. I love Jack Black. Year One is a dumb movie. I wouldn't watch that one. Why did I watch Year One? Netflix has this option on it where you can just say watch whatever, and it randomly selects a movie. That might be how Year One popped into this queue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I Am Legend was much better. The Lost Pirate Kingdom was a limited series. The first 2 or 3 episodes was good. The last couple episodes sucked. The Last Blockbuster was a good documentary about the last blockbuster.
I'd like to see that. I like a good documentary.
And a lot of people have. I even had this misconception about Blockbuster, like it was the technology passed them up, and Netflix won because they were on the edge of the leading edge of the technology. Turns out the full story was Blockbuster just had real estate and debts that they couldn't reorganize. They had all these leases on leases, not leases.
Not to be confused with Lisa's.
Yeah, because if you have leases, you're in good shape. The more leases you have on your side, the better off you are. They had leases, 6,000 stores worth of leases that was debt on their books because they owed this rent. And in order to reorganize themselves to get onto the leading edge of technology, get out of the store business and into the digital business full scale, they had to unload these leases. And that was part of what the bankruptcy filing was. But the bankruptcy filing also came right on the front end of the financial crisis. And there's a really, really good argument to be made that they did not have the management capability and the institutional knowledge to do what Netflix did with movies by mail and streaming video. But they definitely did not have the financial ability to make that transition because they had this boat anchor around their legs. And I had completely overlooked that part of the story. It's not that the technology necessarily passed them up or that they were unable to transition. It's just that they hit a financial wall and they got boned, so to speak, which is business school terminology. You can look it up. I should know. I went to business school. But yeah, that's and it's also an interesting story about the cultural relevance of the Blockbuster and being able to go and do the blockbustery thing of shopping for movies on a Thursday night that you're going to watch over the weekend. That was cool. I kind of forgot that was a thing you did. The date nights that started off at a Blockbuster and ended up with ordering pizza, and because it used to be Blockbuster and Chill before Blockbuster and Chill was even a term. Very true. But it is definitely not going to be in the top 20. So we'll pass. Well, yeah, I'll keep it. Oops. I'll keep it. It can make the cut. I'll let it be. And in a couple of months, we'll come back and filter this down when it's a little more stale. Creep was that a good movie or not? I can't remember. Probably not. If I can't remember if it was a good movie, it's really not a good movie because it was only a month or so ago. March 26th? That was only a month ago. Creep. What was Creep? Creep. Yeah, couldn't have been that great. Just another silly movie. Murder mystery. What was murder mystery? I think this was it. Oh yes, this was a really good one. This has Jennifer Aniston and what's his face?
Adam
Adam Sandler.
Sandler.
Yeah, that was it was actually it was a dumb movie, but it was a thoroughly entertaining dumb movie. Um, and Yes Day had Jennifer Garner and some other people, and it was a movie about parents who said yes to whatever the kids wanted to do, and hilarity ensues, and everything goes to shit. Tenacious D, Moose Gal. Is there a movie I didn't like? This is that movie. I did not like Tenacious D. Did not like it at all. It's a great. It is artistically a good movie. I recognize the skill and art of putting together a musical opera movie, a rock opera movie, but I hated it. Absolutely hated it. 15 minutes of it. That's enough of that. And turn. Jack Black is a genius. This is not. It's like a Tenacious D for me was like a really, really, really good eggplant parmesan. I don't like eggplant parmesan. It doesn't matter how good it is. I don't like it.
Right.
It could be made by the gods themselves, placed on a gold plate, and possess the secret to life as we know it within the fibers of the food. And I will not like it because it is gross. So there you go.
Okay, Joey. 556. You're almost there. Come on. Home
I know,
stretch.
right? The Possession. I don't even remember that movie. Father of the Year. That has David Spade in it, and that is actually it's not a good movie. It's entertaining, but it's entertaining, but it's not a good movie. It has David Spade in it, and he affects this Boston accent sometimes, and it is really fucking annoying. So, pass. I don't remember Killers. I don't remember that at all. The Conjuring was better than The Conjuring 2. Looks like I watched them both in the same day too. The Conjuring 2 is not good. Let's see here. Who Killed Sarah? Another limited series, not very good. Dark Knight. God, The Dark Knight is a movie that is like it could easily have been 2 movies. That is a 3-hour movie that should have ended in an hour and a half. That could have been a 2-parter easily. Absolutely insane that they made that movie so freaking long. I blame Peter Jackson for 3-hour movies because he made The Hobbit over 2 hours, or the Lord of the Rings series. He started making those movies over 2 hours, and then everybody else said, "Hey, we can make movies that are 2 hours long." Like, stop it! Stop making 2-hour long movies. They're too long. And then Netflix comes along, and they're like, "Yeah, you can make a movie as long as you damn well please because we don't have commercial constraints." So now you get these ridiculously long movies. It's insane. Okay, where was I?
How did that not become a thing after Dances with Wolves?
Well, see, Dances with Wolves was a long movie, and it felt long. It didn't have the flashy computer graphics and stuff that they had in Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings had these huge, big, flashy set pieces and graphics and all that stuff. There was also The Postman. Kevin Costner is absolutely culpable in this, but at least his long movies felt like long movies. Waterworld lasted 3 days. It just kept. I loved it because of the visual bigness of the water and the ships and everything. But god dang, that movie could have been half as long. Same thing with The Postman. Same thing with Dances with
I'm
Wolves.
sorry that I got you distracted. Go back to your list.
Anyway, sorry. I'm looking back at. Okay, looking to see if there were any other comments. There weren't. Okay, back to the list. Sorry. I'm such a ooh, look, there's something shiny. Okay, so enough of that. Good Place. I started rewatching The Good Place there. I Am Not Okay with This. Oh, that is a great series. And it ends on a cliffhanger because it got canceled after the last episode of the first season because of COVID. But it's about this young lady. See, I didn't say chick. This young lady who gets superpowers. And her superpowers start to appear in the first episode, and it is great. It is an absolutely fantastic series. and it ends on a cliffhanger, and I am so disappointed that that ended. I hope they bring it back. That definitely makes the cut of movies and TV shows. We're at 35. God dang. See, there's like 630 of these that I didn't like. Cobra Kai, season 2. That's yeah, Cobra Kai. Just the end of season 2, it just went to crap. Good Place.
Saving Private Ryan. That's a
Yeah. Why did I watch Saving Private Ryan? Something prompted me to watch Saving Private Ryan, and I watched it, and it's a good movie. I'm not gonna lie, that's a great movie. It's a really good movie to watch. But I think I turned it on because I just had it on in the background while I was working. Uh, I don't know what Game Over was. Don't know what the week of is. Uh, see, this is just random crap that was on in the background. The Irregulars. I started watching Irregulars, got through about 10 minutes of it, and turned it off. It was trash. Serpent was another one. It's about some dude who kidnaps and kills campers, backpackers. But it's another one of those. This is a mass murderer guy, and everybody's on his tail, and he's really stealthy and really creepy and really charming. But he's in foreign countries, so it's hard to find him. Like whatever. I've seen that story 1,000 times. Insidious. I thought Insidious was great. This is another one of those creepy demon possession movies. And man, I got full body goosebumps watching this show. Full body goosebumps watching Insidious. That was some good stuff. And see, I started rewatching Breaking Bad right after I started watching Insidious. And I did cut this off 2 weeks ago on the 15th. So I am into season 2 of Breaking Bad now. I'm pretty sure that's already on the list. Why Did You Kill Me was also garbage. God. That's another one of those documentaries about something that happened, and they start talking to somebody. Somebody starts talking about whatever the story is, and then they cut back and tell you their name, and they're sitting like this, and they do the whole title sequence. Like, it would be really good to know who that person was when you start talking to them. Thanks, podcast TV show. That is the modern day documentary technique that just annoys the crap out of me more than anything else. But enough of that. That's the end of the list through the 15th of April. Do I have Breaking Bad on the list? I should have Breaking Bad on the list.
Yes, you have Breaking Bad on the list.
Sure, I have Breaking Bad on the list. Do I need to make sure Breaking Bad's on the list?
Breaking Bad on the list.
Okay. Well, I'm going to copy Breaking Bad and make sure it's on the list.
Okay.
Just because it should be.
Right.
Yeah, because I can't say enough good. Oh, there it is. Breaking Bad season 1 pilot. It's way up there on December 30th, 2020. So I'll take it off there. Okay, so I've got a list now of 36, really closer to 30 because I have the whole Waco series on here.
Right.
I can get rid of those. And I'll whittle these down. What are your thoughts? Anything other than I have a really bad habit? At least it's not cocaine.
Right. There are worse things in the world. I cannot, it just blows my mind that you watched this much in basically a year.
Well, it doesn't necessarily mean I was watching it actively either. It may have been on in the background because, over the course of 6 hours, 8 hours of working on the dining room table or in the living room or here, I could have an entire season run in the background of a TV show. So it doesn't mean I was necessarily actively engaging my brain watching these TV shows or movies. In some cases, I'm pretty sure I slept through a good chunk of Saving Private Ryan. Because you can only walk across Europe for so long to make it interesting. Jeez.
So yeah, there's a lot in that list that I will never ever see.
Yeah. Yeah, under normal circumstances, I'd probably be in the same boat. But just for grins and giggles, this is the Amazon history. We watched Scrooged. Quarantine was a terrible movie. It was an interesting concept, but it was terribly executed. It had the lead actress is the sister from Dexter, Dexter's sister from the TV show Dexter, and she is a great actress and a fantastic performer. But in this particular movie, she screamed a lot and just got on my nerves, and I hated her. Like, actively hated her for the entire movie. I was rooting for the zombies to eat her and kill her to death and make a spectacle out of it because she annoyed me that much. True story. But there's a lot more stinkers on this list from Amazon because we watched Tremors back on January 24th. Right. Here Comes the Boom was great. The Tick was great. Soul Station was an animated flick, which was really good. Carnival Row was terrible. Lore was terrible. Quarantine was terrible. I don't know what Hide and Seek was, but I'm sure it was terrible. The Boys is like the best thing. Oh my God, it's so good. It's about superheroes who work for profit, and you can imagine how that works out. They have like a whole corporation that runs their marketing. So yeah, you can imagine how that works out because at some point the corporation has to make sure the crime happens so that their superheroes have stuff to do. There's season 2. That's literally all of season 2. Lost City of Z. I don't remember that, but I'm pretty sure it was terrible. It sounds terrible. Utopia is another one that's really great. If you get a chance to watch that. Jay and Silent Bob reboot, which was also terrible. But Hotel Rwanda. See, it's not all just brain garbage. Some of it's really good movies, like Hotel Rwanda, which I'm pretty sure was up for an Oscar, or it should have been. Once Upon a Time in Mexico was terrible.
Really?
I don't even think I finished it. That was either Antonio Banderas or Brad Pitt.
No, it was Antonio Banderas.
Yeah, that was the precursor to, or no, it was the sequel to Mariachi.
Yes.
Which was good, but Once Upon a Time in Mexico was not. Or at least I wasn't in the mood to watch it, so it wasn't good when I watched it. Looper was great. I thought Looper was great. I thought it was good. I don't know if it was great. I don't know which Total Recall this was. Man in High Castle. I've tried to watch Man in High Castle so many times, but I've not gotten through season 1. Have you ever watched it?
I haven't watched it, and I really like to because I like the dystopian genre.
Yeah, I've tried to watch it a bunch of times, and this alternate history of Germany and Japan partitioning the United States is intriguing, but it's just it's so much effort to watch that, and that's the real challenge. It's just so much effort. But here's where we get into the good stuff. Look at there, Smokey and the Bandit, Saturday Night Fever, which is a really gross movie about rape and suicide, and it's just bad. Yeah, I mean, they rape that chick outside of the club. It's just like, and John Travolta's character is such a douchebag. Anyway, Crocodile Dundee, great. Serenity, great. Jack and Jill, good. Not even good. Don't remember Slender Man. Pretty sure it was terrible. Cannonball Run 2 was atrocious. Just really, really bad. And the whole time we're watching Cannonball Run 2, I'm telling my boys, like, these people were famous in the 80s. Most of them were really famous in the 70s. These people were they were really famous in the 70s and really still big names in the 80s, and they got these people to come onto this movie just so they could sell some tickets. They probably had studio contracts and bills to pay. You've got Dom DeLuise and Burt Reynolds and that lady from that Witches movie. God, just they were all just a whole bunch. If you put together enough of B-list actors and C-list actors, you get a movie that's tolerable. And somehow they still screwed that up with Cannonball Run 2. Then there's Dude, Where's My Car, which we made several jokes about when we were hunting for our car at Palo Duro Canyon. That's a story to be told someday. Moneyball, Mystery Men, Taken. This doesn't even have the trilogy of movies we watched. Oh, I got to see if we can find those. When we watched Velocipaster and Big Giant Space Monster and Space Captain of Space as a triple feature one Saturday. One of those movies was great. One of those movies was terrible, and one of those movies was merely bad but entertaining. So there you go.
Okay.
I have to do a show about that trilogy, that movie triple play one weekend. Because God, Dieter Batrick, I think that's his name. Dieter Batrick. Dieter, I think that's his name.
Hmm.
Anyway, he's a great actor, but he can also be a really bad actor. He's one of those actors that if he plays the role wrong, it becomes kind of a shit show.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Okay.
A list of 30 that I've narrowed it down to, plus the Amazon stuff, which is about half good. About half of those are really good, and only half of those should really make the cut. So what you got going on the rest of the week? You got any plans for the weekend other than going to watch the Mavericks play basketball?
It's Raul Malo, the lead singer of the Mavericks, the band, not the
Oh, the
basketball.
center, right?
Yeah. So no, that's the whole weekend. I mean, got to drive out to San Antonio and
Cool.
drive back. So and then next week,
Mm-hmm.
Raul Malo comes to Houston for 2 nights, and then Wednesday and Thursday, and then Friday he's in Dallas. Guess who's going to all 3 shows?
I'm guessing you.
Yes.
Cool.
So
So he's in Houston next week, May 1st.
No.
Is that next week?
Yes, but not until Saturday.
Okay, which is May 1st, right?
Right.
Saturday is May 1st.
Yes.
Yeah. I am doing a tasting. Where am I doing a tasting on May 1st? I think I'm in Porter from 2 to 5 on May 1st. I'm in the Galleria on the 29th. I'm in, I have a calendar to keep my shit together. Almost like I'm a grown-up. I'm at Westland on the 27th, which is Tuesday? No, the 28th is Wednesday. I'm in Westland, then the Galleria, then I have Friday off because I couldn't find a store to schedule. And then I am in Porter. So if Raul Malo wants to come by and check out the distillery, I am free on Friday and Saturday.
Dallas on Friday.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He's in Dallas on Friday. He's in Houston on Saturday. So he wants to come by and check it out. I'll buy him a drink. Because, I'm sure he has nothing else to do on a day that he has a show after he drives down from Dallas.
Yeah, you have this backwards.
Whatever.
So, Houston Wednesday and Thursday, Dallas on Friday.
Oh, Houston Wednesday and Thursday, Dallas on Friday. So Saturday he's completely free, except he's going to San Antonio.
No.
He's not going to San Antonio? I thought you said he was going to San Antonio. You're going to San Antonio this weekend.
Yes.
To see him. And then he's in Houston on Wednesday and Thursday.
Right.
And then Dallas on Friday.
Right.
Oh. Well, I'll still buy him a drink. That's fine.
Okay.
I might even challenge him to a basketball game. And he won't understand the joke. Because it's only me. Because I am a weirdo degenerate. What else you want to say, Lise?
Well, we discussed this earlier, but it's really important to sterilize your pets so that they don't
sterilize your pets. Spay and neuter your pets.
Yeah.
Sterilize them. That sounds so. Sterilize sounds like you're like killing them. I mean, that sounds like a clinical, neutralize them.
So spay and neuter your pets, please. And if you do trap, neuter, release with the city or with the county, yay for you! You are making such a huge impact on people.
Absolutely. And also, I mean, the statistics are clear that feral cats decimate wild bird populations. And if you have a runaway population of feral cats, you negatively impact the wild bird population and the songbird population especially. because those birds are the dumbest because they're all like, tweet, 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 here I am. And they're just like announcing their presence for all the cats to eat them.
Right. Right.
Unlike the smart birds, they keep themselves quiet. Stupid birds. But yes, definitely, absolutely. That's a good message. Bob Barker would be proud of you.
I don't really need Bob Barker's.
But he would be proud.
Yeah, no, he was kind of slimy.
He was a bit of a degenerate, but in his defense, not that he needs my defense. Every guy in the 50s and 60s was kind of a degenerate. And just because he was still famous in the 80s doing his TV show doesn't mean he's not a guy from the 50s and 60s. You know.
Still wrong.
I mean, it doesn't make it right to still be a dirtbag in the 80s and 90s. But you know, like that dude from the Family Feud, like slobbering on all those chicks that he had on his show. That was gross. You know, like he wouldn't do it today, I would hope. But you know, that wasn't it was gross today, but it was like it wasn't really gross in the 70s. It was just like
still gross.
Yeah, well, because you're watching it today.
No.
If you were watching it back then, you're like, this is my duty to do this because that's what society makes me do. But that doesn't mean society wasn't wrong. I'm just saying. You know, it was a different time. And it can still be wrong in a different time, but it's like, God, he was like, why were we so wrong back then? It's just, yeah. Yeah. We were just so wrong.
Yeah.
So very wrong. And you can't fault them for being like fish who are wet. Like you look at those fish and you're like, you should be different in the water that you're living in. Like, you know, if they grew up today, if they like Jim Carrey, the new Wheel of Fortune, not Wheel of Fortune. What the fuck is that show? Price is Right guy, Jim Carrey.
Right? No, Drew Carey.
What did I call him?
Jim Carrey.
I thought I said Drew. Drew Carey, yeah, the round one from Dilbert. He's not
around anymore.
He's not perving on the model girls, and he's not perving on the contestants on the show. Richard Dawson, that's the one from Family Feud. Steve Harvey's not there perving on the chicks on Family Feud. I mean, he does that weird authoritarian dude thing where he like fucks with their tie. Like, you're not my dad. Anyway.
How is it possible that this show has managed to run longer than last week?
Oh shit, we have, haven't we?
Yeah.
You know, actually, we've run longer than Community. This is episode 92. I'm pretty sure Community did not have 92 episodes.
Congratulations.
Saying, take that, Joel McHale. Suck it. 92 episodes in a movie. Anyway. Lisa, tell the people good night.
Oh, good night, dear people.
I'm gonna close out the show. Good night, Lisa. I'll see you again soon.
All righty.
Where's the button?
I don't know.
I gotta find the button. There it is. Bye, Lisa. All right, folks. This is the end of the show. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, children of all ages, fill your cup and let's have one final drink. Be awesome. Let me fill my cup. Be awesome. Thank you all, by the way, for your support. If you were one of the folks who supported us in our capital campaign, if you're not, I mean, like, screw you. But no, really. But thank you for your support. I appreciate it. Thank you for reposting our tweets, reposting, sharing our Facebook posts. Every little bit matters. All of the notoriety and all of the sharing and buzz and word of mouth, that helps tremendously. If you find yourself in a position to be able, go out and get yourself a bottle of our whiskey at Specs anywhere in the great state of Texas. And if you find yourself, unfortunately, outside of the state of Texas, hey, shoot us a message. We'll see if we can make an arrangement to get it in your hands one way or another. Find us on Facebook, find us on Twitter, find us on Twitch, find us here on the YouTubes and Instagrams. In the meantime, be awesome, drink humble, and we'll see you next week. Cheers.